I'm Stephanie Quinn, giving another master class. This is number 21. And today I'd like to talk about Maestro Riccardo Muti. He was the first important conductor I had the privilege to work with. It was in Spoleto, Italy. I was an earnest and very impressionable 18-year-old girl in music school. Even though it was my first trip abroad without my parents, I immediately set to work, practicing many hours for several days so I would be ready for the first rehearsal. When I showed up for that first rehearsal, everyone else knew each other and had become friends, and I felt alone and lonely. Sitting at the front desk of the orchestra next to the concert mistress, I looked up at the face of our maestro, Riccardo Muti, and I felt strength and courage and humanity with every word and gesture. The 6-hour rehearsals were every day until the opera performance, then the same thing the next week for the next opera, and so forth. Our maestro made us feel as if we were invited to be part of a friendly soiree. Even though my arms got tired, the time was exhilarating, and that was a long time ago. Last Saturday night, I attended a Chicago Symphony Orchestra concert where Maestro Muti is presently the music director. As I watched his hands, I was remembering from decades ago in Italy how they caressed the air with the shape of the music. The Chicago brass section is known to be the best in the world. It was really fun because I noticed several times when they had an important section of the work, he just stopped conducting and put one hand behind him and just let him go have at it. Charlie Vernon is from Asheville, by the way. He told me that's one of the things he just loves about Maestro Muti. A full concert without intermission, then a long standing ovation, cheers and whistles and shouts from the audience from each of the sections. He had a few words for us, asking us to come back again and how important music is. He phrased something new I had not thought about before. I'm going to paraphrase this. He said, "Music is the most important of all art forms, especially now. It holds no opinion. It has no political party. It doesn't tell us what to believe or what to do. It simply opens our soul." I was invited to come back to the backstage area after the concert and enjoyed seeing some of my Chicago friends. And one of them hugged me, whispered in my ear, and said, "I'm taking you to see Muti. Come with me." My heart skipped a beat as she glided through the crowd, leading me right over to him in a separate room. I extended my hand to his, and he took it gently. That's a familiar feeling because pianists and string players don't grab or squeeze or shake another's hand. Our touch is usually quite gentle. I told him last time I had seen him this close was playing violin at the Spoleto Festival. Quickly he said, "Which part did you play? In Charleston or in Italy?" I said, "In Italy." He gently placed his hand on my forearm, a knowing look, and said, "Good, that's the real Spoleto." We had a good laugh about that. Now backing up 2 weeks ago, again at the Chicago Symphony. I wasn't there. Muti conducted his first Chicago Symphony Orchestra after 19-20 months separation. After this concert, a meaningful speech, I feel, is something you should all hear.
Tonight, of course, is a very special occasion. And generally, for special occasions, the speaker has to prepare a special speech. Because my speech would be hilarious, because already you are starting to laugh. It will be very difficult for me to say things deep, because it's not my language, the English, and so I have to find the right words that can correspond to the feeling that I have and they reflect the feelings of the musicians. This is a special day, special evening, because after 19 or 20 months of separation and 20 months of disaster in the world that killed many people, killed the economy, but the economy affects the physical part of our life, but killed the culture. Culture affects our soul, our mind, and the interrelationship between people. So that always we forget how much the lack of culture can damage a society. That's the reason why it's very special tonight. And that's the reason why I am playing the Eroica. Because the musicians of the Chicago Symphony and the musicians around the world and the actors and the singers and the composers, the painters, they have been heroic. Because it's not only they had to make their profession silent, but they couldn't communicate what is the real reason of their life. So to give you to the public enrichment and beauty. The world is going in a very tragic way because of lack of culture. I'm insisting and fighting, I've been fighting all my life. Culture is not entertainment. You are not here tonight because you didn't know how to spend your evening. You are here tonight because you need music. You need to hear live your fantastic musicians. That is the reason why we are here. We are here to give you emotions, to give you the sound of beauty, of harmony, that sound that the world is forgetting. Without music, the world will become more and more savage. So I am so happy to see all of you in this historical hall in front of an orchestra that is more than 125 years old, that has given beauty and music enrichment to many generations. So I'm asking you to stay close to the orchestra, to tell your friends, your colleagues, come to hear the orchestra, not just to hear the music, but to receive through music beauty, harmony, and, as Beethoven said, brotherhood. That I wanted to tell you.
Naomi, you ready to go?
Yes.
In your new house? She did a few days ago.
Hello, everyone. I will be performing Shalom Aleichem by Goldfarb. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly.
Thank you, Naomi. Thank you. When I had played this for you, I played it a little bit faster, and at your last lesson, you came in with this tempo that you're playing.
Yes,
It's very slow, and but you also had these things during the lesson where your bow slid a certain way, or your finger did, and it came off as an emotional expression rather than a technical problem because it happened in just certain areas,
yes.
which I thought was really precious. Um, Rather late last night, which often happens before these classes, I thought, I wonder if there's a reason why she did this slow, because it's often heard very quickly. So I did a little research. Aleichem, the Shalom Aleichem, it's what it means. It's a part of the Jewish liturgy. It's a traditional sung by Jews every Friday night upon returning home from the synagogue prayer. It signals the arrival of the Shabbat, or the Christian Sabbath, welcoming the angels who accompany a person home on the eve. There are many versions of this title, and the modern ones are played in a rapid tempo. The composer of this one is Israel Goldfarb, and it was written in 1918 while sitting near the alma mater statue on the campus of Columbia University. It is to be performed quite slowly. I think you did a very nice performance of this.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would you like to do it again?
Would you like me to do it again?
No, well, the question is, do you feel like you might do it better if you had another
I
shot?
think I think I could do it better. I mean, there's still some spots that I made a mistake or didn't play some notes I didn't play in tune. I could try it again. Hopefully, I'll do it better this time.
Yeah, and there was something we talked about at the lesson about saving the bow.
Yeah.
Save the bow. Okay. And I like you using all those open strings for this too. You got a
Oh,
clean, pure tone, which I'm really loving for this song. Let's do it one more time.
okay.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for getting up so early this morning, Naomi. You did a
Oh,
nice
you're
job.
welcome. You're
Very,
welcome.
this is, I think, one of the times you performing without you're not getting so nervous.
Oh, yes.
The first few times,
First
remember
time.
the harmonic?
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. All right, very good. We're going to move on. In 1887, Steinway built an 8-foot piano I had the pleasure to play last Monday. It's quite gorgeous and documented to have been played by both Paderewski and Rachmaninoff. Another wonderful thing happened that same year in 1887. Jean Gabriel Mahi composed a major hit piece, called La Cinquintaine, which we'll hear today. It's French, meaning the 50th anniversary. Composed in 1887, well in the Romantic era, it's also referred to as the Golden Wedding because the 50th anniversary of a marriage is the golden one. It was originally composed for violoncello. So it makes sense today to invite my colleague, Frances Duff, a wonderful cellist here in Asheville, to be with Anna as she performs this piece. So you want to say hello, Frances?
Hi, I'm looking forward to hearing you.
I think there might be something else you're looking forward to. I was texting with Frances yesterday about maybe coming here. And I told her about Stuart Newbold, who comes to a lot of classes, and then he coached a couple of people, and he wasn't going to be here for about 6 months because he's going on cruises. And Frances responded with, "Do I get to go on a 6-month cruise then?" That's funny. All right. Anna and her mom, Jacqueline, are going to be performing. They're in somewhere in China right now, and that's where they live. And feel free this time. I mean, it's not a concert stage here, to begin the piece without a noise. Just feeling each other's presence, because that if you have the tempo in your head, Anna, your mom will know exactly what you're going to do.
Awesome.
Bravo, bravo. I love your speed and your tempo and your character. It's a really nice, dancey, happy event. I don't know if on Zoom, the sound is, the bigs are made smaller and the smalls are made bigger in volume. So I'm not sure. Are you playing the piano? I don't know where you, yeah. I don't know what dynamic markings you have, if you have the same that I do. And I didn't hear much. Is it Zoom, Stephanie? Is it the Zoom that's?
I think so. We don't use Zoom for our lessons, and
Yeah.
any kind of video format these days, unless you've got an individual microphone, you really have to like use a teeny tiny bow to get anything soft.
Oh, and you don't want to do that because then it sounds mousy soft instead of
Not
beautiful soft.
necessarily. We all got to learn how to do that. This is what's happening these days. We all have to learn how to deal with it. Yeah.
Well, when I do the opening, because it's marked piano, and at the end when it comes back again that bit, I do it way up here. At right at the tip. And then when we have a crescendo here, then I get louder and use more bow. Whoops, I need to tighten my bow. Then in this part, so I don't know if you were doing that because it looked like you were using lots of bow, and I love the way you use lots of bow. It's a great sound. Then when it goes to, this is good. And this is nice. When it goes to, I have really piano. Crescendo. So that's a crescendo for me. And then here, you did this nicely, but then I would go softer. I don't know if I sound soft because I'm on my phone, but play the beginning and let me hear your soft playing.
You don't need the music. You just get close so she can.
So Anna, what would happen if you played a little bit closer? I know you're never supposed to play on top of the fingerboard, but occasionally for a special effect, it's kind of cool. What if you moved your bow just a little closer to the fingerboard and see what sound it makes? Oops, nice. That's beautiful. Does it feel different to do that? And then crescendo, when you crescendo, you get closer to the bridge a little bit?
It's weird, but I think it sounds cool, actually.
We don't use that too often. I love where your point of contact is in your sound, so don't change that. But every now and then, experiment with maybe different points of contact to see where you can get different sounds, because it changes the bow speed, it changes the pressure and all that. This part, what's going on there? It's a completely change of mood, isn't it? Do you think of something for a little different stories or characters for a piece?
Not really. I just kind of like characterize it in emotion rather than like stories.
Yeah, emotion. So what is the emotion there? This part.
It feels more like happy and joyful, kind of. Yeah.
Then this, you're playing this so happy. Maybe I think that play the second part. Just a bit of it, just the opening of the second part. So, I think that's exactly what you're thinking of is what you're playing. It's beautiful. I have in my music, I have little carrots on those half notes, little sideways carrots, little accents. So I have to get a little tug on the string. I'm wiggling the string back and forth, but not moving my bow. I have to get that before I go. So it's a real T sound with the bow. Let me hear a few notes. Yes, and to get the good up bow one, you got to stop the bow for a fraction of a second to be able to make sure it's got a nice little tug on the string. Do one more time, those 4 notes. I know they're half notes, but I don't play them like half notes. I mean, I'm not saying that the way I do it is right and the way you do it is wrong, but with those accents, I want to get, do it with a big stop. Terrible sound. Aha. Now put just a little bit less space in between. That was beautifully done because I heard a nice at the beginning of each note. Do again. And now go. And then suddenly stopped. How can we make this sound? What is the character of this? What is that character?
It kind of makes me think of like hide and seek, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Let me hear the hiding part. Yeah. So now play the half notes into that part and see if, because this is like, it's like I'm counting while you're running and hiding, right? And I'm counting loudly so that everyone hears me while they're running to find their hiding spot, right? Maybe? Yeah. And then I want to hear the hiding spot in a completely nice contrast. Yeah, nice. You can't see my where my bow is very well, but I will start up here, close to the fingerboard. And as I get louder, I'm getting closer to the bridge just to bring out the sound, but that's something you can experiment with. You play beautifully and you know this song really well. Thank you so much. Sounds great. Thanks, Anna.
Hey, thank you, Fran. I'm so happy you could come here.
Nice to hear these good kids playing beautifully.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Fran's got a great imagination, very creative, and I love the way you worked with her story of the hide and go seek.
Oh,
That's pretty quick.
that was her.
I haven't played hide and seek in a long time.
Yeah.
But
It must be. It's got to be cold in China. You must be in northern China.
Yes, we are just
Very,
south
very
of Beijing. Overnight it got cold, close to freezing, and the heat isn't turned on yet. So our house, which is made of cement, is very cold, chilly. So
They're all
wrapped in
made of,
blankets.
yeah, they're all made of cement, aren't they? Yes.
Yes, yes.
So next we have Abigail. And this is number 5 in the Suzuki 2 book, the Brahms Waltz. Brahms Waltz originally written for piano. It's number 15, and it's written in A major. For violin, it was arranged in G major. For the piano part, for the more difficult version of it, and the two piano versions actually in A flat major. So we're going to hear it transposed to G major. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Abigail, you're playing this beautifully in tune, and the rhythm is good. You've got the turn pretty well too, the little ornament. Now we want to work a little bit more on the style of this. This is a waltz. It's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a waltz. So there's certain times where the 2 and the 3 are going to be much softer, much shorter. And then and more bow here. Again, tiny, and slow down a little because we're going back to the A section. Not so much bow, like we were saying about Anna. And so forth. So whenever you have those 2 up bows, make them just really tiny, so you don't wind up with this here for the down bow. That's a mess. Then you don't have anything. So skim over the string a little. You can skim over the string, lifting the wrist up there. Oops. Just barely tap the string. You've got a resonant fiddle. So you have a big, huge sound. Here are times where it needs to be lighter, just barely touching the string on those. Let's practice the one right now without the turn, and then we'll do the one that has the turn. So that's at the F sharp on measure 7, second line, third measure. Yeah, I'm still hearing the second beat. In a waltz or any 3/4 time, the second beat usually is not so important. The first beat is always important. Sometimes the third beat is important, like this. Those are third beats on those up bows, and those are important because they're leading into the downbeat or the first beat. But in a waltz, you don't want to be emphasizing the second beat, which is what I heard there. And if you have to pick up the bow, you can do that. Or something like that. Even shorter, especially on the second beat. You want to try that again in the same place? Okay. This time watch me rather than your music and notice how much bow I'm using. Good. Very nice. Now let's do the other one. The other one is, you don't go so high on the notes before, but this one is somewhat like Frances was talking about with the La Cinquintaine, where you can use the upper half and use less bow. We've talked about that before, of using less bow. Let's try it there with the turn. So more on the C, more on the C. La da da dum, ya da da dum, bum. Short, short. B, A. Be careful about the turn. It's getting a little bit like a triplet. Instead of, that's not right, you know? Mm-hmm. Light on those. B, A. Here's how much, look how much bow I'm using.
Try to use just a little bit.
You should barely see the bow moving. I've seen your bow moving. You just tap the string. That was better, and more on the C, more on the down bow C. And then sing it before you play it this time. That always helps. I know. Sometimes embarrassing, but it works. La da da dum bum, and I'll sing it again. Then do it right after me. La da da dum bum.
La da 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 dum.
Good, even lighter on. La da da dum dum.
La da 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 dum.
Now you're too long on it. I'm hearing da da. Should be bum bum. La da da dum dum.
La da da dum.
That's better. Do it again.
La da da da.
Even shorter and softer.
La da da da.
Good. That was better. Even softer. Those are nice and short, but just da da, little da da, la da 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 da.
La da da da.
It's so much better. More bow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. So that's something you can be working on. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next we have Anissa in her new place. Let me find her. There you are.
Yes, I had to get my violin.
She's got some amazing acoustics in this new room. What kind of floor do you have in there?
It's just carpet.
Is it a bigger room than? No, it's a smaller room than you.
It's probably a little smaller.
A little bit smaller. But listen to all that resonance in that room.
It's a taller ceiling. That might be it.
Ooh. Anissa's tall like I am. I like to be in tall ceiling places.
Yes.
Yes, she says knowingly. So this is the third movement. It was by Perlman. It was written probably in the 1920s or 30s. I like this piece a lot. Um, so this was very well done, and you've got some nice dynamics in there, Anissa. Um, And I was wondering what you did for your warm-up this morning.
Maybe the bowing thing that you assigned me.
The ring thing,
The bowing.
I don't know, what was it?
Doing like the lower half and then the upper half and
Oh, right, for the looping. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, good. Anything else?
just this piece.
Slower?
Slower. Yes, slower.
Hmm?
Slower.
A little
Mainly
slower?
yeah, because that one part still gets me, the fast string changes.
Yeah, string crossing, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to give you a little bit of a tip about that. Oh, by the way, around the third measure that you came in, second measure, da 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 da, bum bum. You did that a little bit fast, and it suddenly pushed you into a little bit of faster tempo, and
Oh.
maybe
Oops.
because that comes right before where the A octave string crosses. So that might have something to do with how that lost a little bit of control there.
Mm-hmm.
Before performing this again, you might want to practice it at a number of different tempos. So you've got this thing going, keep it steady there. Can't see my arm, just a second. So when you have that string crossing, what I saw, look at this part of my arm here.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this. And I think it would be better to tune the violin. So to play, find where the arm is, this part, during a double stop there. And then keep that part of the arm a little less moving. You can make it a little bit more subtle. When we watch people playing passages like this, it appears that a lot more is going on than is. We're actually not using lots of bow, you know? I've got 1 inch, and you did great on that. You have 1 inch of bow. All the moving is all this, woo, and you see the bow tip moving really fast and everything. Don't ever be mistaken to think that the point of contact, the sounding point, is always very precise and very well thought out in terms of where in the bow it's going to be. Like Frances was talking about with at the tip. We have opportunities for that same thing here. More resonance here. Maybe for double stops. You know, so we maybe.
Stephanie?
Yeah?
I find string crossings can be really tricky, and I practice them a lot just as really light, gentle double stops, sort of going whatever it is, and then just almost keep the double stops, but go and still playing almost double stops, and it trains my arm to not do so much of this stuff, you know.
Very similar idea. That I guess it kind of makes sense that we do the same thing. Yeah. So you want to try a little bit of what Frances was saying. Just kind of scrub the string a little bit. Just that 2 measures. So it's A. Let's do that, and then afterwards, separate. Okay? I would do a little less of this part of your arm. You're kind of, you were away from the violin a little while, and this arm's getting a little too busy. Just more of this part. Frances, you want to pipe in on this one?
I wonder if, I don't know if she's holding her bow a little bit tightly so this can't move at all. There seems some tightness there and I don't know where it is exactly.
Uh-huh.
So that it's not supple enough to just sort of do a little to the next string and back down to the original one. You know what I mean?
Right, right. You want to think about that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really move my wrist too much there.
No, but there's something more relaxed about it. Even just, yeah.
Isn't this the beginning of some kind of popular song? What is that? It's the autumn or the Vivaldi?
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe spring.
Yeah, it just, it's a big job to figure out, but I do feel like there's just a little bit of, no, your hand doesn't move, but there's a suppleness to it that you can see when you're playing that.
Yeah, try this, Anissa. Just go like your hand like this, like you're like get out.
But is it?
Like get out of here. Just kind of loosen that up a little bit.
Can you see me now?
Oh, you're going around in circles. No, that's not
You want me to do like side to side or?
No, like get out of here. Like you want to get a kid to
Like
get
that?
away from you. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's this way. Don't go around in circles. You're going like this. Go this way. Like get out. Get out. Get out. I think that's better. Okay, now with that movement, just extend this finger. Just stick it out like a pointing the finger while you're doing the same thing. And that'll get your fingers kind of lined up how they would be on the bow. You know, try it again now. You try lifting the wrist a little. It's still looking real tight. You want to lift the wrist tiny bit. And take the pinky off the stick. That's something we got to work on. Is you can play around with taking certain fingers off the bow, you know, like or playing with these two, or take this one off, or even be brave and do this one or this one, you know, and feel what it feels like to be taken off all these other fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you realize that each finger has quite a bit of ability to keep the bow in the hand and make a decent sound, I think there might be a psychological thing here that you might be feeling like you really got to hold on to this bow. Mm-hmm. I know it's a nice bow, and if you have a clunker around, or I can't loan it to you. You're not my neighbor anymore. But if you've got a clunker around, or sit down on the ground on a rug. So if you're worried about dropping it, you know, I think you did a beautiful job. It's very exciting to hear it, and that middle section was a little quicker than at the lesson, so I like that a lot better too. You did decide to skip a measure.
I did.
I mean, it was nice, except four measure phrases, very much in this piece, and all of a sudden that was I'll play it for you. See if you start clapping, everybody, if you hear me skip the measure, okay? Oh, there was one other thing. It's right there at, oh gosh, one before 20. So you were doing, it's actually this. counting it in two. I know it's 4/4, but I do things in 2 and 1 sometimes. So listen back to this when you get a chance and see if you can get it a little bit more like that. It's a nice little transition area. I think it's the most exciting part in some ways. It's kind of a pivot into a new part of the piece. So let's work on that a little bit this week, okay?
Okay.
Great. Any questions? We're going to close out this real soon. Does anybody want to, it's Riccardo Muti, M-U-T-I. Riccardo, please listen, watch his videos. He gives lots of little talks. He's a musician's conductor. And he says things oftentimes musicians wouldn't have the nerve to say.
Thanks so much for allowing us to be a part of this today.
Come anytime.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. It was so good to see everybody and share some music making. Yoo-hoo!